At this time, we ask that all Michigan's first available players please report to the podiums.
Whenever you're ready.
Braiden, what has it been like being a home state kid and the reaction that you've received after winning the Rose Bowl and heading into this game?
Yeah, it's been crazy. You know, obviously being like a hometown kid and like growing up watching the Rose Bowl and just all the Michigan history, it's just like kind of just insane that like I won the Rose Bowl and now I'm here at the Natty. So you know, a lot of support from back home. You know, I have like the 810 tatted on my back. So my Port Huron Museum actually tweeted out something about it. So it's been pretty cool.
But before you got to Michigan, I mean, were there any people that said, oh, if you go there, you don't have a chance at winning a national title or anything like
Michigan head coach Jim Harbaugh in the house. Welcome to Houston. Now that you guys are officially just a couple days away from the big game, what are you feeling? What's the pulse of the team right now?
What I'm feeling is everything's big.
Want me to wait? We're good? No.
Okay. Yeah, just were there big doubters when you decided to go to Michigan that thought that you guys would be able to win the national championship if you went here?
Yeah. You know, my high school coach was a big Notre Dame fan, and you know, he kept pushing me to go to Notre Dame, and went on a couple of visits there. And then when we went there, you know, he was just like, well, I hope the best for you, but, you know, if you guys play Notre Dame, you know, I'm rooting for Notre Dame, but I'm still going to root for you. So, like, just people like that just mess around with you, that just, like, you know, obviously love you and show you, like, that they do care and that, like, you know, they hope that you're going to win, but, like, nobody expected us to have the 3 seasons that we've had back to back to back.
Did you expect these 3 seasons you've had back to back to back?
Not really. I mean, after the first one, we were like, okay, obviously we're a good team. You want to move closer? Or keep hearing feedback. There we go. So obviously, like after the first year, you know, we had a great season and went to, you know, a Capital One Orange Bowl or whatever. So, you know, then when we kind of just kept carrying it on to the next year, it was just like, wow, you know, we are like that. You know, we have built something really strong here in the foundation with, you know, the younger guys that come in being able to learn. So just kind of when we have the leaders that we do have on this team, it's just kind of not really surprising that you do have the seasons that you do.
So at the start of from the way last season ended to the start of this season to now, what was the toughest part of this run for this year? The toughest moment or obstacle or whatever?
I would say the unknown. I feel like it was every day something new was happening, you know, like from the program or, you know, just all the media that was coming out of everything. So that was kind of tough of just trying to stay focused, you know, like we got to Penn State and as soon as we landed, we found out Coach Harbaugh wasn't going to be with us. So I think just the little things like that, you know, we stuck together pretty much this whole season just as a team, and that's been a big thing for us is just stick together and, you know, whatever comes, we know we're going to be able to battle through it and come out on top.
Tell me a little bit about your injury in high school and battling back from that to get to this point.
Yeah. So that was the hardest thing I've ever faced. When it happened, I was supposed to early enroll, and I was expecting spring ball and, you know, all that. So as soon as I like tore my knee up, I got surgery on it from a Michigan doctor or whatever. So I felt like I was going to be back for spring ball. It was only going to be like 6 or 7 months. Excuse me. And you know, and then COVID happened, so I only really got 3 or 4 months of rehab on my knee. So then I had like 3 months without it. So it kind of set me back a little bit, and then my whole freshman year was kind of just a wash because, you know, the setback and all that. But mentally, it was really hard. But at the end of the day, you know, I just kept like focusing with the doctors and trusting them, and like I guess really just grinding at getting the knee back and learning how to run again. So I'm happy that it did happen to me because it taught me a lot of things, but it sucks at the same time.
What was the biggest lesson you learned from all that?
I would say trust the professionals, whether it be your coach or a doctor or, anybody that is specialized in a field. Just trust them. They'll tell you you'll be back, you'll be good, but, you have your doubts and you have people that doubt you and saying you're not going to be back to where you are. So I would say trust them and just really believe in yourself because, at the end of the day, if nobody believes in you, you have to believe in yourself. So that's been a big thing for me is, I came here with, a couple first-rounders in front of me, and people telling me, my freshman, sophomore year, he's just not going to play, he's not ready, he needs to transfer. And then I just kept betting on myself, believing in myself, and then now look where I am.
You guys have lost one game in 2 seasons. When you look at that one loss, considering how many games you won, do you look at that loss as a fluke at all?
Yeah, I think it could be. I think we didn't come out to play the way that we played all season and the way we played this season. I feel like we were kind of looking ahead a little bit, and we said we were locked in and focused, but I think at the end of the day we were really so focused on Georgia with what they did to us the year before that we kind of looked past. But I think we've shown that we are the #1 team in the country, and that we don't really expect to lose. We expect to go out there and win. So I kind of look at it like that a little bit, yeah.
So when the next week when TCU went out and played Georgia and got killed, did you guys have any reaction to that? Like that should have been us, or did you not even watch or pay attention to it?
Yeah, I didn't watch the game. I saw it on Twitter and I saw it on some ESPN stuff that was just coming up. So I didn't watch the game. We were actually in Florida for a little bit of a break before school started. So I was just kind of soaking in the Rays and just kind of hanging out and then catching it when I look at the score. But I didn't want to focus on it because I should have been us.
How much do you know, or how much have you learned about the '97 Michigan championship team?
Yeah, we've learned a lot. They've turned on a couple different films from different games. They pulled on the Michigan State game in '97 and how they just went out there and just killed them. Same with the Penn State game. I think we watched it before Penn State. And, that's kind of been who we've been compared to this whole year is just the '97 team. We had Charles Woodson come in and talk to us, and he told us about, how he hates hearing about the '97 team. He's ready for a new one. So, I kind of wear the '97 hat. I got it from my mom, and, kind of wear it as like a symbol of okay, we appreciate what they've done, but now it's our turn.
So this is coach and coaches showing you the film of those games?
Yeah, yep.
How you doing, Braiden? Big fan. Who your favorite player? Who your favorite teammate?
My favorite teammate, Tyler McLaurin.
Yes, man.
Derek's a close second, my bad.
Hey, Braiden, I'm curious, given everything that happened this year with the Big Ten, them suspending gyms and all that, how do you feel about the conference now being able to claim Michigan's success and say, oh, look at how great the conference is?
Yeah, I would say a bittersweet because, obviously we wanted the support from our conference and, the teams we have played, a shout out to a couple of coaches that, after we played them, they're yeah, they were that good. But then you have the other coaches that, will go and, try to go behind our backs and kind of, say stuff that we, may or may not be true. And then after wins, they'll be oh, yeah, they were a good team, we're the part of the Big Ten. So, I don't really know all the if anybody said anything, but at the end of the day, we are all part of the Big Ten, and, we support any Big Ten team that's playing in the bowl games, especially if they're playing SEC teams or whoever. So at the end of the day, we just want support from everybody else, and, but at the end of the day, we've been like that. You don't really need to make excuses and then out jump on, so.
In some ways, do you think that all of that actually ended up making you guys stronger and a better team at this point of the season because you had to go through it?
Yeah, I think it definitely did. Because I think it was the first 3 games when we had 3 different head coaches the first 3 games. We all just really locked in and we're it's a head coach, but we got 3 different ones, but who cares? It's us going out and playing. It's what we do. They're gonna make the play calls, but at the end of the day, we got to go out and stop them or we got to go out and score. So I think just us as a as a team and like our brotherhood we do have has really brought us like really, really close together. And I mean, you can see it just when you walk around. Like, I mean, everybody like loves each other, and you know, we all go to battle for each other. And I mean, at the end of the day, we're all we got. You know, coaches can leave tomorrow, and you know, players obviously can too now. But you know, we definitely all stay in contact, especially with guys even that have left. So
Part of the culture right now for every program is how they handle NIL. How do you feel like Michigan's done as far as using NIL, but also maintaining culture with the introduction of a lot of money into the locker room?
right. I mean, I think everybody's talked about it since the beginning. Is Michigan's doing it the right way? We're not just funneling money into recruits and stuff like that. And it's kind of a big thing for our locker room culture is if you're a playmaker, if you're a starter, you're the ones that are going to be seeing the NIL benefits. So I think that that's a big thing that, you know, is really good that Michigan's doing. We're doing it the right way and making sure that the people that are making plays on Saturdays are getting paid and not the 5-star recruits that, you know, haven't done anything for the university yet. But, I mean, the Champion Circle, Valiant, they've, you know, done a great job, and, you know, it's just going to keep getting better as years go on for the guys.
It's kind of crazy for you. I know you are one of a group of guys on the decision to make after this year to see them start up this fund the other day, and it's like, oh, in 3 hours, there's $100,000.
Right.
That's got to be pretty crazy to watch. It's like, oh.
Yeah, we were all on the bus to the hotel after the flight, and we saw it, and we were like, I think it was at like 53, and then at night I looked and it was at like 100 and some. I was like, wow. It just shows the kind of support we have and how the Valiant and the Champion Circle do such a great job of getting that out there to get money raised that quick.
Braiden, nobody seems to be able to touch Michael Penix in the pocket. He moves around, he avoids the blitz. One thing you guys do differently than maybe Texas is they blitz off one side, bring one guy. You guys seem to just 4-man get pushed back. So what's the approach with him, being how good he is at avoiding rushes coming from one side or the other?
Yeah, I mean, he's a really good quarterback. We played him in 2020, I'm pretty sure. And, you know, we kind of know what to expect right now of, like, you know, if he sits back in the pocket, he's going to make plays. If he rolls out to his left, he's going to make plays. You know, he's a good scrambler. I mean, it's a good offense. They live off explosive plays. So when we have a D-line as deep as us that, you know, we can rotate and we can still get fresh bodies in there and be able to go out and do what we're supposed to do, I think it's a big benefit for us going against an offensive line like that.
More follow-up on that. You said 2020, I didn't, so I'll ask you that. Is there any talk of revenge? I mean, he's the only Indiana quarterback since 1987 to beat Michigan. Has that been discussed at all this week?
Not really. You know, we've talked about it, just, you know, how they did win in 2020, but, like, most of us that are on the team didn't play him. So, like, it's just, like, you know, he's a sixth year. So, like, I think that's my class and then the fifth and sixth year guys that played him. So I actually didn't play him, so this will be my first game against him. Yeah, yep. You got to ask Mike.
Hey, Braiden, apologies if you've been asked this, but can you talk about Washington's offensive line and what stands out to you?
Yeah. So obviously they're the Joe Moore Award winners. You know, we had that trophy in the building for 2 years, and, you know, our offensive line was pretty proud about it. And you know, I felt like when they got that trophy the first year, it kind of brought something new out in them, and, you know, the confidence and, you know, all that. So we kind of know what we're going to get with them just off their mindset. And I guess, I mean, obviously they're Joe Moore Award winners, so it's like we know we got to bring it to them. We got to bring it to them quick, because if you get them confidence and get them, you know, rolling, it's just like our O-line that, like, you know, it just keeps going, and it's just going to be hard to stop. So it'll be good.
Texas wasn't able to sack Michael Penix Jr. a single time. He was comfortable in the pocket. Just how important is it for this defense to be able to get to Michael Penix Jr.?
Yeah, I think it's a big key. You know, when he's comfortable back there, I think he makes really good plays, but we need to get him uncomfortable. You know, that's going to be one of our big type things that we're going to do. And I mean, you know, just cover the guys and, you know, get pressure. So if we can get back there and cause havoc, kind of like how we did against Alabama, I think it'll go well for us. No problem.
If you were to look at the start of the season, would you have ever guessed you'd be playing Washington in the championship game? They haven't been with the big boys for a while.
Yeah, you know, I wasn't really expecting to play Washington. I mean, there's a lot of good teams that could have been here. Obviously, we played like Bama. I mean, Georgia, they just got like left out the playoffs by 2 spots. Florida State. So it's just kind of like, wow, you know, they really are 14-0. They did come through the Pac-12, beat Oregon twice, beat Texas. So we know they're a good team. We know what to expect. But yeah, I mean, I'm happy for them. it's going to be a good matchup.
Braiden, going back to the comment about Washington's Joe Moore working offensive line, do you feel, as a defensive lineman, any sense of pride in this matchup, like to maybe go out and show that they weren't deserving of winning the award or proving anything like that?
Yeah. I think our O-line's the best in the country. I think it's shown year in and year out. I mean, I talk to my guys all the time, and they were like, we expect to win that award. I mean, 2 years in a row. But I mean, it's kind of like last week. Everybody kept talking about how great Bama was, how big their O-line was, and we went out there and dominated them. We won the game on fourth down stop on the goal line, and both our edge guys just knocked their tackles back. So I think playing a team that won the award, they obviously have that sense of confidence, and they think that they are the best O-line, and it's up to us to go out there and show them that our O-line is the best. So it'll be good.
How strange is it to have the old Big Ten play the new Big Ten?
What'd you say? Sorry.
How strange is it to have the old Big Ten play the new Big Ten, Washington coming in next year?
Yeah, it's really weird. Think about like teams from the West Coast that are going to come over and play in the Big Ten. I've been asked about it a couple times about the commercial of the Big Ten, when it shows all the little dots and things like that. So I just think everything's going to change. That's how college football is going now. So it's just kind of insane to think that Washington, Oregon, USC, they're going to be in the Big Ten, because I grew up watching them, late at night because, it was Pac-12. But it'll be good for our conference. They're really good teams that being added in.
Have you ever been to Seattle because you're going next year?
I've never been. I heard it's cold and rainy. Mike Morris, he was a D lineman here last year. He plays for Seattle. So I asked him about it when he got drafted there, and he went out the first time, and he's like, it's kind of like Ann Arbor, just really gloomy, and like in the fall you don't really see much sunshine. So that'll be exciting to go there.
Hey, very good performance from the defensive line, getting to the quarterback last week. How confident are you can kind of replicate that performance against Washington?
Right. I'm very confident. It is one of the best O-lines, or technically is the best O-line that we're going to face. We watch them on film. They're really technically sound, really well coached. So I think come out and try and smack them in the mouth, kind of the same way we did to Bama, is going to be a big key for us. The quarterback's going to try and sit back there and make plays. So if we can get back there in time and disrupt it, even if it's pressures, it doesn't have to be sacks. I think it'll work out well for us.
Do you feel, extra pressure to get home when you do blitz? Because I'm sure you've seen what they've done when they have time, and his strong arm and the deep ball and all that.
Yeah, I think there's a lot. I want to say pressure. It's more of a exciting challenge to us. This is the best O-line in the country. Being able to get a sack on them or get pressure, just being able to go up against them. It's going to be a good challenge for us. And, we're all, the whole D-line, the whole back end, everybody that's going to, eventually blitz in the game is just excited for the opportunity. Sir.
Some people say this Washington wide receiver core is better than some at the NFL level. And then you have Michael Penix, who was repping throws last week against Texas, really all across the field. When you look at what Washington does offensively, they're averaging a lot of yards, they're averaging nearly 40 points per game. What stands out from a schematic perspective about what they do well, and how does that go into your game planning for Washington?
Right. Obviously when you turn on the film, they live off, explosive big plays, passing the ball. They pass the ball a lot. And, one of our things is stop the run. So, obviously not going to try to run the ball as much. But when we do see the film of how he sits back there, and when he has time, he can dice up defenses and really make all the throws on the field. He's got a cannon, so it's like we got to get back there as quick as possible. But our DBs are ready. We've faced a lot of good wide receivers this year. Marvin Harrison and Mecca and Buka. That's a good receiving core too. And I feel like they did really well against them. So I know they're excited for the challenge, and I know they can't wait. So I'm excited to watch them.
How important is it not just to get sacks, but just to get pressure on Penix to make them know that you're there?
Yeah. For the defense, it's our number one thing. Obviously, stop the run, but it's like get pressure back there because, if he's uncomfortable, no quarterback's going to be as good when they're uncomfortable. So that's just something we're excited for, and, it's going to be a good opportunity. And, if you do get pressure on him, hopefully get him to throw a ball that he doesn't want to throw and have our DBs jump on it or vice versa and get a sack. So, just playing defense, like complementary defense with our DBs and our front seven is going to be a big part of this game.
And then, Talk about the two different animals. Obviously, last week you had Jalen Milrow. That's a whole different animal. A guy that can just run all over the place at any certain moment. And now you're preparing for a guy that can just throw a deep ball on you and throw a dime down the field. Just going from game to game. I mean, how tough is that?
Yeah, it's definitely difficult. I mean, you think about it, it's like, okay, we just played a huge O-line that averaged 350, 360 across the whole line. And, these guys are a little bit smaller, but, more athletic, won the Joe Moore Award. Same with, the quarterbacks, like you said. Like, we watched film where, Penix has been sitting back, been looking deep, and in a split second snaps his head and throws cross field past, their check down. So, he's a very good quarterback. He can make all the throws. We're excited for the opportunity to be able to go against him, and just excited for the game.
Right after the 2020 season, do you remember Coach Harbaugh sending an email out to the entire team?
You said what?
After 2020, do you remember Coach Harbaugh sending an email out to the entire team?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think it was a long email or something. Yeah. Just kind of turn this around. It's a fluke year, COVID year. We trust you guys, trusting us. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. I wouldn't say emails, but we get long texts from him all the time of where he'll send us, a poem or something that he thought about. Kind of gets us going. He's big on sharing his ideas with us and us sharing our ideas back. So I think with him being able to be the type of guy he is and coach the way he coaches.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand by as Michigan players rotate podiums.
But yeah, I think it's very good. He shares his ideas, we share ours, and it's just an open conversation all the time. Yeah, I definitely do. I don't think our culture was where we wanted it to be, and he's the main guy when it comes to culture. He controls it all. Obviously we do too, but when he sends out an email like that, it just helps the team understand he's with us, we're all together, we're gonna fight back, and especially with guys like Aiden that we're still here. He was just called team meetings with just players only, just things like that to get us back on the right schedule.
Hey Braiden, just last quick question here. After having about 3 to 4 weeks to prepare for Alabama, you have just a normal game week again. Finally, 7 days to prepare for Washington. Are you guys happier? Do you guys have a normal game week again? Does it feel more normal this past week preparing for Washington than you had to do for Alabama?
Yeah, I think it's. For me, I like it more because, it's just a quick turnaround. Get ready to play the game. Kind of when you sit there and prepare for a team for 3-4 weeks, you start to overthink it a little bit. Start thinking you're playing Superman. Everybody talking about how great he is. So, with us being able to do a quick turnaround, focus on what we need to focus on, and know exactly what we're gonna get, and kind of just game plan off that. It's exciting for us because we play a game in 2 days. So, yeah, I like this fast turnaround. I don't really like the whole sit and wait, 2 weeks is kind of pushing it, so 3-4 was a lot. Yeah. Awesome. Thank you, guys.
We're going to walk over there. Phil, will you make sure this is lined up right?